Welcome, welcome, welcome to the main streets of Gadgetzan. Yeah. Yeah. It's still Cabal week, so we're gonna go over some more crazy Cabal cards. Thank you for joining me once again. It's crazy, the cards! They're mad, I tell you, they're mad! And I'm feeling mad today because of all the potions I've been drinking. And that's why I'm wearing the hat. Yes! Awesome. So, thank you guys for continuing to watch this continuing series of reviews for the Mean Streets of Gadgetzan cards. Let's take a look at the first card right over here. This bad boy right here. It is the Sea Devil Stinger. 4 mana, 4/2 Battle Cry. The next Murloc you play this turn costs health instead of mana. So, I didn't know that Murloc was going to be a thing. But apparently it is. Who knew? I would say that the stats are in. People like Murlocs, and people want to have a Murloc deck that's not just OTK Paladin. They want a deck that's actually thematically based off of Murlocs, much like a Beast Druid, or a Beast Hunter, or a Pirate Warrior, or a Dragon Priest. People just love tribe decks. They love tribal decks. They want tribal decks to work. And so I think that's why they did this card, because they're like, hey, Warlocks and Murlocs, that could be a thing. Why not? There's magic involved in Murlocs, and let's do it. And I think that this card is actually deceptively strong. When I first looked at it, I was like, 4/2 health, huh? It's just gonna die. Piece of shit. However, let's think about the Murlocs that this bad boy can combine with. One, simple, your Bluegill Warrior. 4/2 comes out, summons a 2/1, bam! Hits him in the face, maybe protects this guy, and this guy gets a swing in. Okay, that's not bad. 2, your Cold Light Seer. Interesting. That's the one that gives +2 health to all Murlocs on your side. Then this bad boy becomes a 4/4 and is properly statted, and it also has a 2/3 backing it up. There's a thought. Now, imagine it summons a Murloc War Leader. Ooh. Then, this bad boy gets buffed. Becomes a 6/3. Not bad. Did I do the math right? +2 +1? Yes, I believe I did. If I'm wrong, blow me up in the chat. It's all good. If I remember correctly. So, there's something that's good. Now, how about if this dude summons Finja? Then, Finja brings out Bluegill Warrior and Murloc Leader. Now we're talking. The snowball potential for this card into Finja, or into any other of the Murlocs, is really strong. So basically what this card says is 4 mana, 4/2, summon an additional Murloc from hand. 4 health. When none of the Murlocs cost that much. Even the most expensive one is Finja, and he only costs 5. So what? So it basically says pay 4 mana and X amount of health to summon another Murloc. Now again, that's assuming you have it from hand. And if you don't have it from hand, this card is terrible. Why are you going to play a 4 mana, 4/2 if you don't have another Murloc in hand? So it is going to force you to play a Murloc-centric deck. This isn't just a card that you kind of slot into the, Reno Murloc deck, because that wouldn't be a thing. It'd be too inconsistent. However, like I said, being able to summon an additional Murloc is pretty darn strong, and I feel like this card is pretty darn strong. But it's going to be very restricted to a Murloc-only deck. What I like about this card is it's using the pay health to then do something mechanic, which I really like, and I think is very Warlock thematic. And it's something that I really enjoy, and I hope that that continues and they print more cards like this. In fact, I hope they have other cards in the set that are like this, because Cho'Gall should be good. Cho'Gall should be cool. Cho'Gall should be sick, but he's not yet. But this mechanic is a neat mechanic. It's a neat idea. And with, you know, the Mistress of Mixtures now being in play, with Cult Apothecary being in play, and with Refreshment Vendor, there is access to quite a bit of healing now for Warlocks. And I'm assuming you don't want to count Drain Life. But it's there. So there is a lot of healing for Warlocks now. And so a more mid-rangey style of deck is possible for Warlocks. And decks that utilize their health is possible for Warlocks. I don't know if this counts or not, but would having a Violet Illusionist out and then this guy? Then playing this guy on turn 4. So let's say you play Violet Illusionist on 3 and then this guy on 4. Would that negate the damage effect? If it did, then this guy becomes super powerful. And what a neat combo. You get a 4-3, a 4-2, and Murloc of your choice. So there's a lot of combo potential here. That being said, it's a very, very bad card if you don't have it. Another Murloc in hand. Like a legit Murloc, too. Not just like a Murloc Raider or a Murloc Tidehunter. Who gives a shit? Which means you'll probably be cutting those cards from your deck. And you want quality Murlocs now. So, yeah. If you can build a deck around this, this card is good. But like I said, it only fits in that deck, so it has limited potential when it comes to constructed play. So I would give this a 6. I would say that it is playable, but I would also say that it is going to require some serious deck tinkering in order to make it work. In Arena, this card is going to be poop, because you don't draft that many Murlocs, and who wants a 4-mana 4-2? So 0 in Arena. Let's move on to the second card, and I think one of my favorite cards of this deck, of this series, not because I think it's, like, super good, but just because I think it's really neat. It is a 5-mana 2-2 neutral card called the Bomb Squad. Battle Cry, deal 5 damage to an enemy minion. Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to your hero. And you look at the art. This is what I love. If you look at the art right here, she's holding a bomb to throw, and then she's looking down at another bomb like, oh shit, this might suck. So, let's think of some applications for this card. What good is it going to do? Now, it's not like Bomb Lobber, where Bomb Lobber was random, and hence Bomb Lobber had a 3-3 body and no drawback. Even though the drawback was that it was fucking super overstated. Bomb Squad is incredibly understated, and it's going to be very easy to kill. However, there's a little card called Shadow Step. This might create a Shadow Step rogue deck. You know, there's already a Shadow Step Cthulhu deck, right, that Shadow Steps your Blade of Cthulhu and Shadow Steps your Cthulhu. There might be some brand synergy here. You know, and then Bomb Squad can take down a huge minion. Let's see here. There's Death Rattle synergy. So this card would come back when the Zoth. That sounds like a negative to me. Yes! N'Zoth! I'm totally going to win the game! Bomb Squad's back! Fuck! Oh no, I'm at 6 health! Ah, shit! Pig and I'm dead. What the fuck? So, yeah. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hopefully. If you're a smart person, you've already seen this. Sylvanas. This card is a 1-card counter to Sylvanas. So if you have a board, right, and you trade your minions in, you keep Sylvanas at, you know, however much health. You get rid of your board. You drop the Bomb Squad. You kill Sylvanas. Sylvanas steals this guy. And then you kill it and deal 5 damage to your opponent. That's the application. There it is. Or, don't forget, there's also silence. And there's also Moat Lurker synergy, where you could play this and then Moat Lurker it, assuming it doesn't die. You could also, you know, I guess you could, you can't entomb it, but an effect like that where you just kind of pick it up, remove it from the game. You could brew this back, like Brewmaster. So like on turn 7, you could play this and a Youthful Brewmaster. Whoop! You know, now you're just kind of dropping and clearing and dropping and clearing and dropping and clearing. There's Shadowcaster synergy here, where you can get a 1-mana, 1/1 bomb squad and just drop it, send it back, drop it, send it back. Things like that. Obviously, you're taking a lot of damage if you do that. But like I said, Shadow Step is still a thing. Youthful Brewmasters is still a thing. You know? So I could see some sort of Youthful Brewmaster Shadow Steppy things with this card. It's there. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to see play. I think 5 mana is too strong. I think it's a little too weak. And yes, dealing 5 damage is awesome. And yes, the drawback is... I think the drawback is just a little too significant. And decks are going to be a little too streamlined to play this card. Even though I think it's really neat. I think it's aesthetically neat. And I think it's one of those well-designed, neat cards that I think is just not going to see play because it's a little too weird. It's a little too hard to figure out. I like a Moat Lurker. Moat Lurker is just a little too expensive, frankly. You know, if Moat Lurker was 5 mana, much like Bomb Squad, I think it would see play. And if Bomb Squad was 4 mana, I think it would see a lot more play. But it's a neutral card, and so I think they're careful with the power level of cards like this. So, excuse me. So yeah, that's my take. In Arena, because you're going to have a lot less ways to get rid of this card, I think it's going to be less applicable than Constructed. But at the same time, being able to direct 5 damage on turn 5 is really big. And if you can handle the health, then this becomes a fucking Shadow Strike that can hit damage minions. So this card might be taking out 7 and 8 drops where you're already kind of ahead, and this card will secure the game for you. So this is definitely a sort of like secure the game or swing the board back in your favor kind of card. You kind of need to already have a board to make this card worth it, you know. But if you're like behind on board and you're like, damn it, I just need one more solid removal, boom, Bomb Squad comes in. So Arena, I'm going to give it a 4. You will pick it over other things. It does have good applications. But again, I think it's one of those cards that's going to be very hard to apply and hence will be difficult for players to utilize properly. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it. But I think it's a neat card, and while I don't think it's going to see a lot of play, I think it will see some play in both Constructed and Arena. Just not sure how. Alright, let's take a look at the next card here. It is the Backstreet Leper. So, let's see it. Backstreet Leper is 3 mana, 3/1, Death Rattle. Deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Oh, so it's like a super strong Leper Gnome, but with 1 health. Couldn't you have made this a 3/2 or a 2/3? Why a 3/1? Because that just dies to a ping. And you wasted 3 mana. It's too expensive. It's way too expensive. They could have just made a... Yeah, you know. They could have made this 2 mana. I guess they didn't want to make like a card that was 2... But it doesn't... It's not like it has stealth or anything. It's not like it's going to survive. You want it to die. I don't know if this is worth it. 3 mana is so expensive. It's so fragile. One of the things that made Leper Gnome so good is you're playing on a turn 1, and it was a 2/1. And so it would deal 2 damage, and then it would die and deal another 2 damage. So you're basically playing 1 mana for 4 damage to the face. You know, or if it got pinged off, your opponent wasted their ping, and then and you still got 2 damage in. So a lot of times what ended up happening is you would play it on turn 1, and then they would ping it on turn 2, wasting their turn, and then you would get to play your 2-drop or 3-drop with initiative. And you dealt 2 damage. So the hope, I think, is probably the same thing here, where you play the Backstreet Leper on 3, your opponent pings it and plays a 2-drop, and you play a 4-drop, and you got in 2 damage. Or you play this on 3, they play their 4, you trade in, play a 4-drop, maybe hit it with some other thing that you have, or maybe this just trades up, and you still get the 2 damage in, or this goes face, and you still get to develop a 4-drop. So, I don't know. I can see there's applications there, but I think this is one of those cards where I'm just kind of like, meh. Too expensive. Not really applicable. Frankly, we've seen cards now where I've just been, meh. Not as excited for these cards, but not every card is going to be good in an expansion. A lot of these cards, they're attempting to fill niches. It's a common card. In Arena, it'll be pretty good. It's not bad. It'll trade up with 4 3s. It'll trade with anything. But it's a 3-drop, so you're like, you lose your 3-drop, you deal 2 damage to the face. I'm like, yay! But you like I said, Arena is about statted minions where you make good trades and you eventually snowball board control, or you gain board control, and you use your well-statted minions to then deal repetitive damage to the face. This guy's not dealing repetitive damage. He's dying in 1 turn. He's dying in 1 swing in any minion. So I don't know. I just 4 for constructed. Not even a 4. Maybe like a 3. I guess there's aggro decks that might use this, but probably not. And in Arena, I'm giving it a 3 as well. Underwhelming, But he's got a potion. He's mad. He's essentially a Cabal card. Is he? Really? Like, how does he fit into a Cabal card? Like, I don't know. Even thematically, this guy's weird. Yeah. I mean, maybe even a 2. I really don't think he's that good. Alright, Blood Fury Potion. Let's take a look at this motherfucker. So let's see here. It is a 3-mana Warlock card. Give a minion +3 attack. If it's a demon, give it +3 health. Okay. Interesting. My initial thoughts on this card. They're mixed. They're mixed, and I'll tell you why. It's nice that this can be applied to any minion, so you can give any minion +3 attack. They don't get the health if they're not a demon. Now, there are a lot of good, cheap demons that, like a Zulak, would play. Malkazar's Imp. Imp Gang Boss. Flame Imp. Maybe Succubus. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, there's stuff there. There's at least 3 that are worth buffing and giving the health. Oh, Voidwalker. 4. So, all of those are very good targets for this card. But I think I would rather, because it's a 3-cost card, I would rather just play the Imp Gang Boss. And then maybe buff something on turn 4. Like, if I could go Voidwalker into Succubus, then I've got 2 targets. Okay. On curve, I could see that working. And it is, of course, a potion. Cabal! We love potions and magic. Look, I pulled a ribbon off of my hat. I don't know. I just don't see this card finding a lot of play. I mean, yeah, okay, you get 3 attack, but you're spending 3 mana for it. Maybe it's a finisher. Maybe it's a card that lets you trade up. But 3 mana is a lot in a zoo deck. A lot. And then I think about sort of like a control warlock. Is this going to work in a control warlock? Maybe. I mean, are there bigger demons? There are some bigger demons, but like, it's not... This card needs like a mid-rangey demon. Needs like a 4-drop, 5-drop demon that's actually good. That's legit, and that's playable, and that's still in standard. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe a Doomguard? That'd be kind of cool, you know? You got a 8-10 Doomguard on turn 8? I guess that has application. It's too expensive. I mean, that's all it is. You know, I realize that getting 3/3 on a demon is perfectly well statted. But like I said, in all the deck archetypes, at least the current ones, I don't see this seeing play. And I don't think this card is strong enough to create its own deck archetype, like a buff demon lock. Maybe. That'd be kind of cool. You mix this with Demon Fire. This is why Demon Fire was so strong, because there's only 2 mana and gives you 2/2. Plus you can use it for damage. You know, this card requires you to have a minion on board. If this was 3 mana, deal 3 damage. If it's a demon, also give it 3/3. This card would be broken. It'd be seen in every fucking deck. This would be the Dark Bomb replacement. You know, yes, it costs 1 more mana, but then the flexibility, you know, is incredible. But the thing is, I feel like flexibility and like choose one, that's like a druid thing. This doesn't feel warlocky to me. I don't know, like buffing, like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't even thematically like it. I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna see play. In Arena though, pretty good. You'll almost certainly have a lot of demons, and even if you don't, hey, it's a blessing of might. Boom, good enough. I am banging my table a lot today. So constructed, I'm gonna give it like a 4. I mean, it'll maybe see play, but I'm just not. I just don't think it'll see a lot of play. And in Arena, I'll give it a 5. Arena, it's fine. Alrighty. Let's move on. Blood Fury Potions taken care of. Let's go to the newest stuff here. And don't look at all that cool shit until we get to it. We're not there yet. Alright. Now, we got another Warlock card. It is the Fellfire Potion. This card excites me. And here's why. It's 6 mana, Warlock card. Deal 5 damage to all characters. Well, Warlocks were kind of missing, like, ridiculous AoE. Let's think about Warlock AoE up until this point. Hellfire, 4 mana, deal 3 damage to everybody, all characters. And Twisting Nether destroyed all minions. And then Doom destroyed all minions and drew you cards. So Shadow Flame, that was an AoE, but that required you to have a minion, and so you're using 2 cards a lot of the time, and so you didn't really get very good value out of it most of the time. Although a lot of the time it did kind of come out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? But you were sacrificing 2 cards, like I said. Fellfire Potion is 1 card. It's 5 damage to all characters. So, excuse me. It's basically going to fucking wipe your board, and it's also going to deal 5 damage to you, and 5 damage to your opponent. So, it's a board wipe and a fireball. That's pretty good. That's pretty ridiculous. Now, I can notice that Warlocks are going to be taking a lot of damage to the self. Again, this is another one of those cards where I'm not sure if it combos with Vile Illusionist. I would think so, Because I would assume at the moment of it going off, the Vile Illusionist was still alive, and in the process of dying, it protected you. I think. Especially because you typically are going to play the Vile Illusionist first. And Order of Effect would state that the Vile Illusionist effect would take effect before the Fellfire Potion would take effect. Which means that you would be protected. I think. Don't quote me on that, though. If that's the case, you could have a 9-mana Fireball, clear the board spell, which would be really awesome. Hey, and guess what? You play this with Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall lives. There's a thought. He's a 7/2, but he's alive, and he can still affect the board afterwards. Force your opponent to use some removal, because guess what? Their board is gone after this. This could also just be reach finish. You know, how many times have you like had Hellfire in your hand and you're like, okay, trade, Hellfire, boom, game over. You know, there's reach damage. This is 6 mana, deal 5 damage to the face, basically, if you want to think of it that way too. It's really, really good because Control, Reno, Warlock needed another clear, and here it is. And then guess what? With the Abyssal Enforcer and with this card, we've got a lot of big sweeping board sweeps now that deal damage to your opponent and to you. And so the idea of sacrificing your health to then get an advantage over your opponent is very, very Warlocky. And so I love this card thematically. This card probably won't fit in a zoo. I mean, I don't know why you would want to put it in zoo because it would destroy your board. But it would definitely fit in a Control Warlock. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really neat. It's going to be very good as a 1-of. It's going to be very good as a 2-of. I could easily see a Violet Illusionist destroy your opponent with self-inflicted damage kind of stuff going on with this guy. Yeah, it's a great card. Great card. I think it will see a lot of play. I think it will be a staple in the Highlander Warlock decks. And, yeah, I mean, what else can you say? It's fantastic. It's a 5 damage Hellfire for 6 mana. Like, that's fucking great. And in Arena, I think it'll be good too. Just wiping the board, starting over, and then tappy, tappy, tap to utilize your card advantage. Beat your opponent. This also has Molten Giant synergy. With all these self-inflicted damage, Handlock might make a comeback now. Because you get down low enough, Molten Giant, taunt him up. And then some sort of healing to yourself, and you're coming back. You know, I can see this happening. I really can. So, I'm going to give this an 8 in Constructed and 8 in Arena. Fellfire Potion. What a really neat card. Really neat card. Cabal Crystal Runner. What the hell is this card? 6 mana, 5/5. Well, it better be good. 6 mana, 5/5 costs 2 less for each secret you've played. Whoa! Wow. Holy crap. That's a good card. That's really neat. Suddenly, Cabal Lackey, Kirin Torn Mage, and a shit ton of secrets. Suddenly they have value. Wow. This could easily be a 2 mana 5/5 by like turn 4, turn 5. Just weave it in. Drop a 5/5. Play a Forgotten Torch. Play another secret. Just make this 0 mana. 2 less. You only need to play 3 secrets to make this 0 mana. You only need to play 2 secrets to make this 2 mana. You need to play 1 secret. It's still a 4 mana 5/5. Wow. This is good. This is really good. So, I think this card is good. I don't know if Secret Mages is going to be good. If you run a Highlander deck, you're very likely going to get this for free. But it means you're going to play that many fewer secrets. If you play 2 Cabal Lackeys, 2 Curator Mages, and a crap ton of secrets, and 2 of these guys, and I don't know. I don't know. I can see the deck. I just don't know if the deck's good. It doesn't feel good to me, though. Just if there was ever a reason to play Secrets Mage, this is it. I mean, you know, this card would enable a deck like that. And I think they're trying to make that a thing. And I think they're trying to make Eater of Secrets a tech card again. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to see this deck being, like, good. I can see it being neat. I can see it being fun. I don't know if I can see it being good. I'm going to give this a 5. It's going to be playable. People will try it. But I have a feeling it's going to eventually just cycle out. Because I have a feeling that Secret Mage is just not quite good enough. Unless they give it a little bit more support. A little bit more support. This is not quite enough. They need one more thing that's going to, like, utilize secrets better. Is Ethereal Arcanist still a thing? Or did that get rotated out? If that's still a thing, and that could still be in play, I can see that. We have a Dee's Valet too. Actually, yeah, I can see this Secrets deck working. It's got enough minions. You know, you got Cabal Lackey, you got Curator Mage, you got Medee's Valet, you got this guy. And if Ethereal Arcanist is still a thing, okay. It's a deck I will try. It's a deck I will play. I think I can make it work. It feels at least a tier below mid-range Shaman at this point. I don't know if it's really good. And if it's a Highlander deck, cards like this are worse because you're running half the number of secrets that you would normally run. Yes, we got Polymorph Portion as a secret, so that's nice, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. In Arena, this card is going to suck. The likelihood of you drafting secrets is very low. This is probably going to be a 6-mana 5/5. That's just terrible statting. So, yeah, it's probably going to be a 3 or 4 in Arena. However, if you do get a secret, all of a sudden this card becomes pretty good. So, mostly bad in Arena unless you decide to pick up a secret. Yeah, but neat card. Again, all these cards are really well designed. Whether they're all powerful, and I like the fact that this really could create a new deck archetype. Like, it's entirely possible. I just don't know if that archetype's going to be good. It doesn't have the same feeling as some of the other... And I know it's a card game, and I know we're not supposed to just go with our feelings. But again, these are my gut reactions, my initial reactions. And so my thinking is it's just not going to be that powerful. Toxic Sewer Ooze. 3 mana, 4/3, remove 1 durability from your opponent's weapon. Well, it's a common. It's a neutral. It's an Arena card. In Arena, it'll be awesome. In Constructed, this probably won't see play. I mean, it's just, you know, it's too situational. Why not run a Acidic Swamp Ooze? Acidic Swamp Ooze is way better than this guy. Now, if this was Battle Cry, destroy your opponent's weapon, that'd be awesome. That'd be good enough. Or if it removed 2 durability. 2 durability is the sweet spot, where it destroys most weapons, but not all of them. I think this card would be great, and I think it would see play, and it would be a very interesting tech card. It's just not good enough, man. Bloodsail Corsair doesn't see play. Why would this card see play? And that card is a pirate, so it could theoretically fit into pirate decks. This card, meh, blah, blah. Gets a 4. But in Arena, it'll be good. Sometimes you just need to remove durability. It's an Arena card. It's like a 6.5, 7 in Arena. That's what I would say. Unfortunately, just really not much to say. It speaks for itself. It's another one of those neat techie cards that We'll probably just see play in Arena. That's a bad thing, you know. And then, of course, here's the reason we're all here. Raza, the Chained, the Priest Legendary has been revealed. Thank you, Amaz, for revealing this bad boy. Let's take a look. 5 mana, 5/5 Priest card, Raza the Chained, Battle Cry. If your deck has no duplicates, your hero power costs 0 this game. I think it should be called Raza the Unchained, because you're free now to use your hero power as much as you want. And no, I am not reading this wrong. This is not a typo. This is legit. Now, is this as powerful as it seems on the outset? Well, the answer is no. Yeah, I hate to say it. All these cards have been slightly disappointing. So here's the problem. On turn 5, weaving in your hero power is not very much of a problem anymore. You know, it'll help. It'll help a lot. Now, if this card was a little cheaper, if it was like 4 mana, 4/4, this card would be super broken. Right now, it's only kind of broken. This card is good. This card is good, guys. This card is really good. I may not seem as excited simply because we haven't gone into the details. So, my immediate thought with this card is Justicar Trueheart. A 0 mana heal for 4 is ridiculous. That's crazy good. You just do it whenever you want. You don't even have to think about it. You're going to be like, oh man, I got to weave in my hero power. I got to figure it out. Nope. You just play your 6-drop and then you heal this motherfucker. You play Justicar and then on turn 7, you play your 7-drop and then you heal whoever the fuck you want. The mana savings with this card is crazy, but it's going to take a long game to make this card worth it. But the nice part about this card is it's a battle cry, and it happens, and it sticks, and it can't go away. So you can just drop this on 5, right? You don't have to wait. You don't have to set up. It's not like Herald Village where you need some minions on the board, and then you get the copies, and then you snowball. It's not a snowball card. This is a value card. And so, if you get excited by value, and I do, you're going to get excited by this card. And I really do think this card is actually very, very, very good. It's just when you first see it, you're like, yay? I don't even use my hero power that much. Like, who cares? Now, think about this with Shadow Form. Having a 0 mana deal 2 damage wherever you want is crazy good. Crazy, crazy good. Double Shadow Form. 3 damage wherever the fuck I want. Oh, shit. That's insane. That's ridiculous. And you get a 5 mana 5/5, which is good enough stat-wise. Wow. So, what this is going to allow you to do is to play shit on curve and not worry about your life. And that was always Priest's problem, is right around turn 5 and turn 6 is when they started to get going, but their opponents were already smashing them in the face for 8-9 damage. So having Raza Unchained, even if your hero power is not buffed up, just being able to freely heal your own body is going to keep you alive in a lot more games and is going to allow you to play bigger and bigger stuff. And that's where the value of this card comes in. You play this on 5, you can play Sylvanas on 6 and heal yourself. You play this on 6, you can play a 7-drop and still heal yourself. Forbidden Shaping becomes a really good card now because you're not wasting your mana on hero power. You're getting the full mana value that you would for that card. So all of a sudden, Forbidden Shaping becomes a really good card. All of a sudden, every card that comes in after this card gets its full value. And in fact, even a little bit more value because you get to heal afterwards. Now you can drop a 6-drop, make trades, heal up, and then your board state is still relatively similar to where it was after before you played this. So that's what's really great. And nobody snowballs like a priest because their hero power is the best late game hero power because it keeps your minions alive. It maintains your board state. So once you grab a board, you never let it go if you're a priest. Typically. It's hard to get rid of their boards. So that's what this card is going to allow you to do. It's also very, very good in Highlander decks because, like I said, you don't need to... You can always spend your mana as efficiently as possible. And so your cards get full value and you don't have to wait. And if you have a shit ton of cards, but they're all one-ofs, right? You know you have to get maximum value out of that one card. And this card is going to allow you to do that. And so that's why this card is ridiculous. That's why this card is really, really, really good. You know, and think about this. What if you combine it with Finley? And then you get somebody else's hero power. What if you just discard that hero power? What if you combine this with Sideshow Spell Eater and you steal their hero power? Right? Sideshow Spell Eater might be a thing with this freaking card. That blows my mind. Nobody thought that card was good. Nobody put that card in their decks. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. The possibilities that this card opens up are pretty amazing to me. And I gotta admit, this might just be one of the best Priest legendaries ever. Who do we have? We have Vol'jin. I liked Vol'jin. I wish he was still in the game. He'd actually be really good. I would miss him. We've got Herald Village. Confessor Paletress. Very good. I still use her, but the more legendaries that come out, the worse she gets. Because there's some lame legendaries that you can get now. Before, I used to always like summon an 8/8. You know, it was basically 9 mana, get a 5/4 and an 8/8. But now it's like 9 mana, get a 5/4 and a 3/4. There's too many shitty legendaries now for a Confessor Paletress to be any good. Who else did priests get? Is that it? Am I missing somebody? Huh? Okay. I'm probably missing somebody, but hey, best priest legendary. It's already official. I mean... Oh, excuse me. If your deck has no duplicates, so you can't double shadow form. I mean, you can, but you'd have to draw the shadow form first. So you got to play around it. But I thematically, I love it. I love that they're trying to make warlocks, priests, and mages Highlander decks, and that's sort of their theme, and that's their thing. And they're giving them these very powerful minions with the caveat that they need to have a unique 30-card deck. And I think that really makes for very, very interesting deck building and very interesting deck archetypes. And Raz of the Chained could absolutely create new deck archetypes. But like I said, it could just slot into fucking normal, into your Highlander Priest deck. So there you go. I think it's a really good card. I think it's a really good legendary. And yeah, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And in Arena, wouldn't you want free hero powers? I know I would. 10 out of 10 in Arena. Granted, it's a legendary, so you're probably never going to see play, but there you go. So, yeah, that's it for the cards, guys. I really want to thank you for watching this video. It went a little faster because the cards weren't quite as good, but Raz of the Chained, man, wow. That makes up for everything, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me for Cabal Week and getting crazy with the potions with me. Woo! Really appreciate it, guys. Yeah. Have a great day, and I will see you in a few days. And it's going to be Jade Lotus week, I think. I hope, I assume. And can't wait for that. And then once that's done, we got another week, and then maybe another week, and then the expansion's out. So probably 3 weeks to the full expansion. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Really do. Really appreciate it. Please like, please subscribe, and all the other links to the other videos are going to be at the bottom of this video. So Really appreciate that, everyone. Thank you so much. Rockstar.